Hey, welcome back to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast, season 3, episode 20. I hope you've had an amazing week, whatever it is that you've been doing out there in the world of creation, music creation, of course, because this podcast is about music technology, music gear, music software, and hardware, all the latest and the greatest, what has been happening this week in that world. This is, of course, the Emlyn in the Mix podcast. Can't even speak. My name is, of course, Emlyn. Thank you so much for joining me. For all of you who are new to this podcast, or if you're watching on the YouTube, we're simulcast as well, welcome. And to all of those who are regular viewers and listeners, thank you so much for joining me. We've got some pretty exciting news to get through this week. A little bit of a calm before the storm. Of course, NAMM is just around the corner, but we just had Superbooth last week with some huge, heavy drops, which we're going to hear more and more about as the weeks go on and people get those into their hands and review them. My gosh, especially the OP1 field. If you've been following that on YouTube, there's been literally a plethora of videos slamming the price on that thing. I actually did a survey on my YouTube channel just asking you guys if you thought it was overpriced and if you'll be getting one, and there is literally the same answer coming back here, that you guys thought it is just too overpriced and you'll never be getting one, and I can understand that. But anyway, I digress. We're not going to be talking about the OP1 field today. We're just going to be talking about some pretty exciting news coming to us, especially, stick around to the end. Roland released a new version of Zenbeats, which let's get to that and we'll talk about, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. But without further ado, let's get stuck into the podcast today. Now, before we do, of course, you can always support this channel if you enjoy the content and you enjoy what I deliver to you on a week-to-week basis. Please consider supporting the YouTube channel. You can shout me a coffee down below. And full disclosure, where credit is due, I don't know why I'm saying credit is due, but full disclosure on affiliate links when we get to, there's only one affiliate link today. And of course, I'm going to try and sell you that product because I love money. Who doesn't love money? You know, put me on a stake, throw stones at me. I love money. So if you want to help me get money and get this podcast continuing, because of course, literally 99% of the content I show you guys, there is literally no kickback, but I will tell you when there is. And I'm only suggesting products that I like as well anyway. So just there you go, guys. You know the drill. If you've been listening to me, you know that I'm not just going to randomly shove things down your throat. And also keep in your mind that the stuff that I show you is literally, look, let's just have a look what's happening. Do you really need this? Most of the time, no, you don't need it. You've already got what you need in your studio right now or in your software. You've got all the tools you could possibly need. This is more just for inspiration. I really digress. And this is why I have a podcast, because rambling is fun. All right, let's get stuck into it. Universal Audio have come with the goods with Hitsville EQ collection. Damn, you want to have the sound of Motown. Now, this plugin on its own, okay, $299, whatever. But if you are a Spark subscription, yes, that's right, Universal Audio's Spark, which is a subscription service, it's included. This is part of it. They're getting that subscription service sexier. And I mentioned this when they dropped Spark. I mentioned that they're going to be adding things. And hey, I was right. Of course they're going to add things. They want to appeal to more people. They want more people on their subscription service. Now, let's have a look if you're watching here on YouTube, and let's have a listen if you're listening on the podcast, of course. Give your tracks the sweet sound of Motown. Let's have a quick look at some of these picks here. The Hitsville EQ collection gives you the soulful tone of the custom-built graphics equalizer that shaped the legendary Motown sound. Available only from the Universal Audio, the Hitsville EQ collection gives your tracks the rich sound of secret sauce EQs used by everyone from the Supremes to Stevie Wonder and the Jackson 5. So I know they're touting this more for your Motown producers. Is there any Motown producers in 2022? I am curious. I would like to know. Let's have a look at some more pics here. Look, organic, whatever it is, you know the emulation is going to be good with Universal Audio. The Hitsville EQ collection is, of course, you know, the heart of that sound, the Motown sound. So they're saying here, get that instant Motown sound with the only EQ emulation officially licensed by the legendary Hitsville USA studio. Dial in rich sounding vocals, drums, bass, and guitar tones with the same equalizers used on Motown classics. And shape sounds quickly with a 7-band graphical EQ. Produce fuller stereo mixes using Hitsville's rare mastering EQ, custom Motown filters, and mid-side control. I think let's just have a quick listen here. We do have a bit of a demo. It's enabled at the start and then it bypasses. Okay, so the first audio sample you will hear is getting processed by the Hitsville EQ and then they turn it off. Wow. Let's have a quick listen. Okay, it's on here. Okay, that's bypassed. There you go, back on. Alright, here we go, some pianos. That's enabled. Off. Back on. Yeah, it pops. Drums enabled. Off. Back on.
You just don't know,
vocals on.
baby,
Off.
what you give me every day. You pull me close,
Back on. Nice.
baby.
That's on the master actually.
Christmas time in May.
Wow, very nice actually. It just pops. Very, very, I guess you could say a very warm sounding equalizer. It sort of has, obviously it has the EQs, you know, adding upper frequencies, mid frequencies or whatever it's doing there. You can hear it doing the equalization, but it's also adding like a layer of warmth, or yeah, that vintage warmth sound. I could hear that there. Very good audio demo. Look, if you've already got the Spark collection, you can just go download this now as part of your collection. And the subscription service is becoming more and more sexy. As they add these sort of things, they're adding these to that subscription, it does become more appealing to more people. And as I say, you know, if you were to purchase this on its own, you're spending $299. I mean, look, it really comes down to, do you want to be, I had a good question or a good comment on my YouTube channel recently about someone had a Focusrite and they were asking whether they should get into the Universal Audio, you know, the whole atmosphere of, not the atmosphere, but you know what I mean, like the whole Universal Audio world. And it really comes down to personal preference. If I'm going to be real with you, Universal Audio, they're in the top 5 best emulators on the planet in terms of plug-in effects, and they literally have nailed these emulations. These emulations are so damn close to the real thing that if you want that sound, you're going to get it with Universal Audio. So again, it comes down to personal preference. Yes, you can get away with other plugins. You can probably get this sound by doing some extra dialing in, but you may never get as close as Universal Audio have, and they've really nailed it. This Hitsville EQ collection sounds amazing. Again, are there Motown producers in 2022? Leave a comment in the comment section below because I want to know. All right, next one. This is the affiliate link I was talking about. We spoke about this last week. 40's very own. Do you want a sound? All right, I'm going to sell this to you now. You're going to want this after I speak about this because you got to support the channel too. But let me just say this clearly, that if you want this sound, this is actually, seriously, you're going to get it, because this is the guy that produced all those hits with Drake, all those mega hits with Jay-Z, all those hits with Alicia Keys, Party Next Door. This is Noah 40 Shabab. Let's have a quick listen. You want these sounds, and there's an introductory offer. If you're listening to this in the future, I apologize, you futuristic people. You had 10 days from this day that this podcast was released. And let's just have a listen to this demo. You want to sound like those people? You want to have that sound? You can have it with 40's very own keys and drums. Let's have a listen here. Nice. Yeah. Oh yeah. So you know that sound. You already know that sound because that sound has been in all of the top 40 hits because 40 is a top 40 player. So top 40's very own keys tap straight into the genre-defining sounds of 40's production. His custom key instruments is packed with inspirational sounds dialed in and recorded by the man himself at his legendary Soto Studios. 150 inspiring presets, blending classic synths, electric pianos, grand pianos, and more, give you access to his distinctive sound alongside a custom 40 macro control that lets you dial in his signature underwater sound right off the bat. And 40's very own drums gives you over 200 essential drum sounds custom created to sit perfectly in any mix by himself. 40's very own drums is all about high quality and beautiful simplicity, designed to create paired backed hip hop beats par excellence. Playing beats live or start from a selection of built-in MIDI patterns and then dial in even more flavor with a dedicated 40's macro control. Link is gonna be down below. If you're listening on the podcast, I'll put the link in there. If you're watching us on YouTube, the link is down below. If you like that sound, you want to have that big sound that Drake has, Jay-Z, all these huge heavy hitters in the industry, 40's done it for you. He's laid them all out and he's giving them to you. This is a blessing for you. Hit that link below. Again, if this is for you, if it's not for you, then just forget about it, guys, because we got more music news to talk about. Let's move on right now. So Impact Soundworks, who are they? They actually make some really incredible sample packs, including actually an instrument, Shreddage 3, which is unbelievable. It's the best electronic guitar emulation I've ever heard. That instrument sounds phenomenal. I literally couldn't believe when I heard it. It sounds like a real guitar. Anyway, they come with the goods here with a new sample pack, Loop, acoustic rhythmic loops, and they're touting it as your secret weapon for unique rhythmic loops and sound design you won't hear it anywhere else. Momentum is a treasure trove of 2,500 plus sounds sampled from unexpected sources that are all acoustic, from hammered guitars to found metal objects to rare hand percussion. Add tension when scoring action scenes or create texture and rhythm, perfect for world music or cross-genre compositions. Shall we take a listen to Momentum and see if it really is for you? Actually, this first demo, I did listen to this before the podcast. This sounds like some not in-game music, like, you know, those TV series where, you know, who wants to be a millionaire or something like that. Just anyway, take a listen. Let's have a listen. I must admit, I didn't listen to the whole demo. That is a lot more dramatic than I realized. Actually, maybe, you know, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is pretty dramatic. We got some pictures of the GUI here. So basically, it works inside your contact player, like all Impact Soundworks sampled based instruments do. And yeah, it sounds pretty damn good. I don't know if those I guess those drums are included, very rhythmic sounding, tribalistic, that sort of thing. Wow, very cool. Let's have a quick look here of the overview. So over 2,500, this is going to be big. 24-bit rhythm performances over 100 different instruments and kits. There you go, sampled. Tonal and unpitched percussion. Yes, it is percussion. Okay, drums and percussion included. Entirely new, organic and unique material. Unique instruments, techniques, and found objects. All loops are provided as WAV RX2. And 120 plus playable multi-sampled instruments and sounds. Look, Impact Soundworks, they're just fantastic. These are some of my favorite sample-based libraries, and they're not that crazy expensive. I mean, look, if this is, you need this, you're doing maybe some film scoring, or even just you're in a band and you want that sound, I mean, yeah, you're going to get it with Momentum. Check that out, Impact Soundworks. No kickback on that, no affiliation link, but head over to impactsoundworks.com to check that out. All right, next piece of news. This is for my DJ friends. And this is just a nice piece I thought I would talk about because Pioneer DJ livening it up a little bit here with some new color schemes for their brand new powerhouse XDJ-XZ, because that means a lot to you, right? That's basically their flagship all-in-one DJ controller. This thing is an absolute beast. It's a mouth-watering piece, especially for someone like me. I run a DJ business. I'd love one of these. I've not invested in something as amazing or sexy as this. Anyway, they have 2 new color schemes, and if you are watching there on the YouTubes, we'll just click across here. Check this out, because you got that beautiful white one, and look at that. You got like a gold. Look at that drizzled gold on the black. That is sexy. That is really nice. But I have to say, I actually don't mind the whites. I think the white is very nice. Obviously a very clean palette. Is that what you say? Palette. Clean color. And it just looks really good. So I mean, if you are a DJ fan, you would know what this basically entails. It is Pioneer DJ, of course. Flagship. All-in-one DJ controller. And there's some lovely photos here, actually. If you are listening to the podcast, head over to the YouTube channel to have a quick look at this, because in the actual environment, seeing that controller, wow. I mean, these aren't too crazy expensive like other Pioneer DJ gear, where you can literally spend as much as a car to get it. This is, because it's all in one, they're actually not too crazy. And you can just plug in USB, play your music. USB ports, you got 3 USB ports, perform back to back and hand over smoothly thanks to the USB 3. So you can, if you're playing in a club, for example, you just bring a USB stick these days, plug it in. The other DJ, get out of here, DJ. I'm coming in now. It's my turn. Punch him in the gut. No, just kidding. Just get out of here. My turn now. I'm the big boy DJ. And hey, it's got 16 performance pads, trigger software specific features with 16 multicolored performance pads. Easy to carry. It's not heavy. Be ready to play at a moment's notice. The single units designed with grab handles make carrying and setup easy. And it's got link export, high quality studio audio. It's all there. I just thought that was cool. This is a quick mention. Of course, you got the original, the black. That's boring though now. I think I want gold. Anyway, if you're a DJ fan, you've been looking at these. Now they've got 2 new sexy color schemes. I like that. I like Pioneer DJs still delivering some innovation. I like that. I mean, they are delivering innovation all the time, especially they are the kings of the DJ world, and they need to keep that there. All right, next piece of news here comes to us from IK Multimedia announcing the iRig Pro Quattro I. What is that? Well, Quattro, I believe Quattro is 4, right? So it's got 4 big, beautiful sounding mic pre's. Always be ready in the field. Have you ever found yourself mid-session missing a key, cable, or connection? Or worrying before, during, or even after a shoot that your work could be compromised by technical issues? Well, introducing iRig Pro Quattro I will put these concerns to rest forever. It's a professional-grade 4-in, 2-out portable audio and MIDI interface packed with everything you need for pristine field recording, content creation, streaming, podcasting, and performance. Handle anything life throws at you without breaking a sweat. And there you can see some photos of it plugged into a guitar. And then here, I guess this is where they're really, IK Multimedia was really wanted to take a slice of this pie here, which is, of course, the podcasting world, which is just huge right now. I mean, look, I'm doing a freaking podcast here, literally just doing it here for you guys because I love what I do, right? And then you can see here connected to a camera, filming, that sort of thing. I mean, this is an all-rounder, versatile piece of gear. I'm really excited. I'm going to get my hands on one of these and we'll do a full video on it. It looks great. It does look, I'm not going to lie, this looks almost identical to one of Zoom's. Zoom has a field recorder much like this. Although I have to say they've slightly altered the design with the inputs here by putting some of the inputs on their side and then on the underneath, which I think the Zoom has them both on the side, and then they've put a stereo pair of XLR line outs on the other side. Interesting. Almost copied the design of the Zoom, but they slightly altered it. And I don't think the Zoom has RCA outs or RCA in, so that's a nice addition. Anyway, check it out if that interests you. Of course, you can plug it to your phone here, just looking at some pics, and it's ready for any scenario. It does look like a fairly versatile all-rounder. It even has the little XY microphones, which you can plug into the top, so you can just do field recording with it. Look, we'll get our hands on one of these. We'll review it. You know, with IK Multimedia, I find sometimes their hardware can be really hit or really miss. And I feel like this is going to be a hit. Like, I have to say, I got to take that back, actually. IK Multimedia, literally, I'm almost an ambassador for IK Multimedia because I have their MTM iLads, which I super freaking love. They are literally some of the best speakers I've ever had. So I'm touting this is going to be pretty good, okay? So check that out. If that's something you need, it is available right now. It's a brand new release, and if you need to do field recording, I would consider this. I would look at the Zoom, and then I would look at this. This looks like it's got a few extra features up its, a few little extra tricks up its sleeve. That is the Quattro iRig Pro from IK Multimedia. All right, this next thing we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit differently. These guys, again, there's no kickback on this, although they did give me some software plugins to check out. This comes to us from our friends at PSP Audioware.com, and I wanted to give these guys a shout out. I wanted to just quickly show you a couple of their plugins. We'll do a fully fledged video on this, but these, I have to say, are really nice plugins, and I had to give them a mention. They reached out to me a while ago, and we were so busy these last few weeks with news and information that it was really hard to get it on the podcast. Now that there's a little bit of a quiet, I only say a little bit because there's still stuff happening every week. There's a little bit of a calm, I should say, before the storm. I can show you guys really quickly. So I'm going to show you a couple of their plugins today in action on a current track that I'm working on, that I've employed them in because they really sound good. And I wasn't, to be fully transparent with you guys, I was not aware of PSP Audioware. For some reason, they had never crossed my path, and I have to give them a massive shout out because they did come and reach out to me to check out a bunch of their plugins. I don't have all of them, but I got a few here to have a little play with. I'm going to show you a couple today. And the ones I want to show you, which are amazing, if you want a really nice sounding saturator or an impressor here, dynamic processor. Wow, these two, which is, you can't see there on the podcast, actually, I'll just zoom in. This guy here, the PSP impressor, which is a dynamic processor, and this guy here, PSP saturator. Wow, absolutely wow. Like, these things sound incredible, and what is amazing that PSP Audioware have done is they've got some incredible, not only do they have this great emulation software, but I think where these guys are winning is they've got some amazing presets with incredible high-end artists and sound engineers and mixing engineers that have made these presets. All right, let's jump over. So here, I told you we're going to do something a little bit differently. Got my Ableton Live session here. Not going to show you the full track, full disclosure, because this is a brand new track. We're only going to play just a little bit of an arpeggiator here that I am working on. So here's our arpeggiator, and I'm using the, let's have a look here. If I go to my melody group here, I've got the PSP impressor. Check this out. This is with it on, so we're going to play it back with it on now. All right, let me turn it off. Whoa. Absolutely just flat. Check this dynamic compressor out again. Turn it back on. What's going on? Off? Like, how is that possible? You hear the difference. There's so much decay on that freaking arpeggiator, but you can hear it just, I don't even know. It's like putting width on it as well. like, I haven't even checked it out. I literally just went into the presets because it's got some great presets here. I love it. And it even shows a little photo sometimes of the person behind the preset, which I kind of like as well. Like, we go here, look at this dude here. I don't know if you can see that there if you're looking on YouTube. It's tiny, but I can see this man made this preset, and I love this man because that preset, mind blowing. Okay, again, PSP Audioware, they reached out to me. I wanted to check these out. Again, we're going to do a full video. I'm doing this slightly different here on the podcast. I just want to quickly show you one more. Let's jump over to my drums track here, okay? Very standard drums loop, okay? And on this one, I have the saturator. This is the other one I was talking about. And we're not going to get to look at, obviously, all of their plugins here on the podcast today, but I've got to show you this because these two, to me, were the standouts, okay? So here I've got it enabled. Let's listen to my drums. Pretty bulk standard loop. All right, let's turn the saturator off. Just flattens it out. It's still grooving. Let's turn it back on though. Yeah, gives it a nice bit of gritty sparkle on the top end, and it pops. Like, if you heard this in the track, I'll play it with my melody line as well. So that's using the PSP Audioware software plugin. So we've got a ton of decay going on there. I think we've got Baby Audio's crystalline that's tailing off there in the end. But look, I just wanted to give these guys a huge shout out because this is freaking awesome. And they've got all these plugins are M1 compatible. If you've got the brand new Apple Mac M1 chip, which I have here in the background that I'm using, it is such a delight to see these companies getting their software compatible natively with that brand new chip. And of course, it's available on Windows 11 and everything else, high resolution, fully scalable UIs. There's the new preset system. I don't know if it was new. I didn't know it was new, but the presets are amazing. Native Apple Silicon support, VST3, VST AAX, audio unit for Windows, Mac OS, Intel, Mac OS Silicon. Wow, I love what you guys are doing at PSP. Whatever you're doing, keep it going, and we'll check out more of these plugins on a future podcast, or just subscribe to the YouTube channel because we'll do a fully fledged video of that. All right, let's move along to our big piece of news, I guess, for the week. And it's, again, what is going on at Roland? Literally, what is going on? Every week, a drop. Like, their R&D department must be running, literally, they must be having a meeting every day. They're like, all right, guys, come on. We got to get a synthesizer out this week. We got to get some software. I don't know what's going on, but Roland, you are killing it. This year is your year. Thank you so much, Roland, for everything that you do. And Roland, if you want to support the channel, please reach out to me. I'm here. I'm waiting for your call. We will stand by, Roland, if you keep doing good products like this. If you don't, then we will turn our back to you. But we're not going to do it. I'm just playing with you. All right, so what is Zenbeats? I've spoken about Zenbeats before. And, you know, there's been a little bit of kickback in the past with Zenbeats because they're, you know, people saying, oh, this is just a new skin over some older piece of software that Roland released years ago, which I've forgotten the name of course, been here on the podcast. But let's just have a look at what Zenbeats is. So find your creative flow. Roland Zenbeats is a music creation app that keeps you in an effortless artistic flow. Get started on any mobile device or computer platform and make music anywhere, anytime. With its collection of both modern and legendary sounds, Zenbeats brings Roland's history of innovation into a new mobile-friendly format. So obviously they are, you know, promoting it towards your iOS users, your Android users, but it also is available as an app for Windows and Mac OS. Now, the app is your instrument. Whether you're an emerging musician or an established producer, Zenbeats makes music creation easy. Build beats, compose full multi-track songs, or sample the worlds around you. Wherever you are, no matter what platform or device you use, capture your creative spark with Zenbeats. And This, of course, employs some of Zencore. There is a subscription-based service to this as well, although the free version is pretty good. You do get the ZC1 synthesizer and the ZR1 drum sampler. Let me just read a little bit back here for you about those. So when you open Zenbeats, everything you need to create is immediately at your fingertips. Drop a beat with the ZR1 drum sampler and sketch synth ideas with the CC1 synthesizer, record audio tracks and mix masterpieces on the go. And when you need some extra fuel, you can access lessons, download song templates, browse, store, sound and more within the app. And a universal sound, whatever style you're working in, you'll find the perfect sound for your tracks in Zenbeats, from vintage Roland Juno and Jupiter tones to diverse and progressive instruments for any genre. The 14,000 plus presets will keep your compositions fresh and exciting. And then if we have a look, if you're watching here, you can see this is what's probably the newest feature for Zenbeats is the ZR1, the future of beat making. Our ZR1 drum sampler is a new kind of beat machine. Fast track your percussive prowess with seminal Roland drum tones from the TR-808, TR-909 and more. Not finding what you're looking for? Then use your own sounds to build the kit of your dreams. So you can sample your world, sample and import directly into ZR1's drum pads and touch of fingercraft exotic kits with whatever is around you using an intuitive interface that makes creating fast and fun. And edit, refine, repeat. Tweak your sounds with advanced editing functionality. Manipulate and chop your one-shot samples with the slice editor and quickly crop and fade as needed. And beat making bliss, you can create complex rhythms with the deep and dynamic step sequencer, complete with accent, per step automation and more. Then process individual tracks with onboard effects to shape the ultimate drum sound. And then when it goes to the synth engine, which is the ZC1, not the ZCI as I said before, ZC1 is a versatile synthesizer based on their powerful Zencore synthesizer system. See, I told you. And the free version features signature Roland synth sounds and 60 presets driven by a sleek touch-based interface with an XY pad for easy sound manipulation. And when you unlock the full version of ZC1, you get over 900 additional presets. So you got to unlock, that's where they get you to pay basically, and 90 MFX that are all fully compatible with Zenology and supported Zencore hardware. You got deep MIDI and audio power at your fingertips. And browse, discover, create, and of course you got all the fresh sounds that Roland updates into that Zencore library. And they're saying you can expand your creativity into some of Roland's hardware by connecting it. Here, for example, the Verse Lab, which was released, I believe, last year or the year before. It's like their all-in-one music production system, sort of to go up against something like Machine Plus. Anyway, you can use Roland's Verse Lab hardware with Zenbeats for expanded song production. Edit tones with full touch compatibility or capability from the Zenbeats mobile app, organize clips and sections graphically and freely manipulate sounds, or use the WM1 wireless MIDI adapter and connect with hardware like the Jupiter X, Jupiter XM, Phantom, MC101, and more via Bluetooth MIDI. There you go. The choice is yours. You can do it for free, or you can sign up and get a membership if you want to get right into the Roland environment. I mean, Roland's stuff is becoming more appealing. This Zencore thing is becoming more and more appealing, more sexier as each day goes by. And look, it's free. Go check it out if this interests you, if you like what Roland's doing. I did download the OS version. It was a little bit buggy, but let me just grab, I can't believe I'm doing this on the podcast. We're going to do it anyway though, but let me just grab. You can't even see that. There, oh, you can there. If I put it up on the camera there. So that, I've got Zenbeats running on my phone, Zenbeats 3.0. Let me just show you real quick though. If we jump back to home here, I didn't actually make a song there. And I'm going to jump over to the ZR1 drum sampler. And that's just loading up there. You can see it. I've got the ZR1 drum sampler. And I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this unless I turn it right up on my phone. So you can hear that. Hang on, we'll go back to drums. How do we get back there? So this is the thing. I haven't played with this enough yet. Let's load that up again. All right, so we got drums. You can hear that. Now, it's pretty easy to record. I like the recording. It puts it in tempo sync for you. So like even if I screw it up, so let's just do a little beat. See? It's timed it into 16ths or something. All right, let's do. I'm trying to make something a little bit more. Can we hear that? There we go. Let's go. Some claps. And of course you can add all your own sounds. Puts it all in time for you. That's pretty nice. I like this. I like this kind of, you know, simple. Let's turn that off there. I like a simple design like that. There it is. It's a bit of fun. You can make full tracks. Like you can, they have like these cell things. It's a bit like Ableton Live, but it's a little bit more confusing. Anyway, if you were to get right into that, have a bit of fun. And of course, you've got different kits as well. I wonder if I can change the kits here. Oh yeah. Yeah, the kits are very Roland, of course. I was gonna show you the desktop version, but we were struggling with, I don't know, I found it a little bit buggy on the desktop version, but definitely check out the Android or the iOS version. It is free, of course. And then again, if you want to get into that whole Zenbeats, Roland Zenbeats environment, you can. But I think there's a lot of fun and creativity to be had with this app. And they've definitely improved upon the original versions. When they first originally released Zenbeats, it was a little bit lackluster. But I feel like this, especially with this new drum sampler, it's really not a really nice addition to the Zenbeats. And this application, which was an older application, as older Roland users know, and I've forgotten the name of that, and they said they just added a skin, but I feel like now they're starting to build it a little bit more from the ground up, especially with these new instruments. I think this has some potential. I just hope they can get whatever that bugginess that I was experiencing on the OS version, I hope they can get that sorted out. It seemed to me, and I'll just leave you with this, what it was doing was it was trying to get, I felt like the desktop version was trying to get on the cloud or something. So we're getting some really weird, odd sort of latency, which we shouldn't have been getting, especially if it's a native application. However, I could be completely wrong. It might just be buggy. Anyway, guys, that's going to have to leave it here for the podcast. Zenology 3. What did you think about all the things we spoke about today? Are you excited by Universal Audio releasing the Hitsville EQ, and does that make you want to get that Spark subscription, or you just buy it standalone because you're super rich or whatever? What did you think of 40's drums? And my pitch to you, link in the description below. If that interests you, like that sound, you want to have that sound, hit the link down below. You'll be doing yourself a favor. Actually, you're going to get it at a much cheaper price, and you're supporting the channel as well. It is a very, very cool thing to do. And what did you think about all the other stuff we spoke about? The brand new Pioneer DJ skins for the XDJ-XZ and the new iRig audio interface, or field recorder, sorry, which, well, it can be an audio interface as well, just came out of nowhere. That's pretty sweet. Momentum by Impact Soundworks sounds amazing. And my gosh, big shout out to PSP Audioware. Check out their products. My goodness, emulation wise, mint, absolutely mint. What do you think about this? What do you think about Zenbeats? You're going to download? I mean, it's free. What more could you want? And don't forget, support link down below if you want to support the channel. Shout me a coffee. But just you guys watching this video does help a lot. Please, if you want to help others discover this amazing podcast and YouTube channel. I mean, if you're still here, my goodness, you've listened to me ramble on for however many minutes. But if you want to help others find this video, this YouTube video, all you have to do is hit the like. It helps the algorithm. It pops this video up in other people's feed and really helps others discover this podcast. And with all of that, and consider subscribing and doing all that YouTube nonsense as well. And with all of that, I'm out of here. Thanks so much. We'll be back next week. Stay creative. Do what you do best. And thank you for listening to Emlyn in the Mix. Peace out. Boom.